Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to a live stream. It has been quite a while since we've been live. Hopefully the microphone is working. It looks like it's working, but my luck would have it that it probably isn't working. How's it going, everyone? Welcome into today's live stream. I am very excited to be live once again. The total crypto market cap has been absolutely exploding over the last week or so, and we're going to touch on it. We're going to talk about what I've been doing, where I've been, and what's to come going into Q4 2025. Now, if you know me, you know I like looking forward into the future for what to invest into. And that happens to be 2026. So if you're not positioning for 2026 right now, kind of sus. We got a new background. I got that right before I took my little hiatus. I'm engaged now. Things are exciting, guys. Things are very exciting. Let's go, C90, WC90. Welcome in, everyone. Holy shit. The chat is popping right now. Let's go. Appreciate you all being here. Let's get into everything. First up, welcome Wild Africa, welcome The Tube, welcome Granny's Garden, welcome Musil, and welcome MK to those investors. Happy to have you here. We got Yeti in the chat. Please don't tell me that the sound is actually broken right now. Can I get some confirmation that you guys can hear me? Okay, all right, I see W from Solus. Let's go. All right, The Tube, goddammit, mods. All right, so Bitcoin today, holy crap, hit $125,000 per coin. We are now above all-time highs. Technically speaking, we hit a new all-time high last night while we all slept. But if we go to the hourly chart on Bitcoin, things are looking really bullish for BTC. Now, nobody should be surprised that we're in bull territory. Not to be that weird guy right off the bat here, but if we go ahead and put the moon phases on, you'll see that we are coming into the full moon time, and the new moon period seems to have been pretty minor this time. We held support gorgeously, which is really good. Not gonna lie, I kind of tweaked out about that for a little bit, and now we're starting to skyrocket yet again. It looks like we are going to get the traditional 4-year cycle in crypto. It looks like we'll be putting in a new, well, we already did. We put in a new all-time high here in Q4. So no matter what happens now, unless we extend into 2026, it's looking like it is a very traditional 4-year cycle. Let's go. I'll send it to the little circle. Lots of work still to be done. Bullish. I know, Yeti, there's so many things that have happened over the last couple of weeks. I want to know what you guys have been up to. How many of you guys are still 100% invested in the market, making bank today? I woke up today and I had started a small account in Robinhood to just trade stocks, which is part of what we'll talk about in a minute or two here. Just kind of my mental reset and the return to basics that I decided was very needed. We'll get into that, but I woke up this morning having literally doubled my account overnight with this AMD surge that just happened. Absolutely crazy. I bought a call on AMD for 175 right in here as it looked like AMD was about to break out. I had zero expectation that they would announce a partnership with OpenAI. Excuse me, not a partnership. I had zero expectation to see that OpenAI would invest and purchase 10% of AMD's company. Like, what the F? What is going on? And then also give them a bunch of money to build out a data center using AMD's new chips that are going to be coming out. The world is very crazy right now, and we'll get into that. Also, I've been doing disgusting levels of research into an AI automation company called UiPath. They are a very dominant player in the automation industry for AI now. AI automation, like AI agents and stuff, and they've started going up like crazy. So yeah. The Robinhood portfolio, I posted a screenshot in the Discord if you guys are in there, but the Robinhood portfolio literally doubled here today, 92%, and it's still climbing. I locked in that AMD call and we're rich. We're rich basically. It's a small account, but gonna be making big money moves in there moving forward. All right. Good morning, everyone. What do you think about the Dynex announcement? I think it's bullish. I think it's really good. If we take a look, and this is kind of, Yeti's in the chat, so it's going to be a little bit awkward saying it, but this is kind of what got me more pushed into the stock market now, like returning to the basics, what made me my money in the very beginning of everything. Because if we go look at the quantum industry as a whole in the stock market, you'll see that we have Qubits, D-Wave, the closest competitor to Dynex. From the lows here back in August of 2024, it's up 4,275%, okay? We started investing into quantum computing and really taking it serious as the next big narrative back here in April and May of 2024, all right? Let's go look at IonQ, another huge name in quantum computing in the stock market. From the lows here, same time frame, August, we're up 1,100% on IonQ. You go look at QUBT, all right? A newcomer to the quantum computing industry. This hit a low down here at 36 cents. Now I know I'm grabbing wicks, but that's up 6,000% in the same time frame that we see Dynex having tanked. So we nailed the narrative perfectly. You go look at August 2024 to keep things consistently, and we'll get the lowest point here on August 2024 just to, again, keep things consistently. Dynex went in the exact opposite direction, about equal the move that the other quantum computing stocks skyrocketed. Now, if we take a step back, what went wrong? And in my personal opinion, it was that Dynex only had entry into the company via the token. And most of crypto does not have the ability, in my opinion, and this is no shame to everyone. I think most of us would likely agree with this sentiment, especially this bull market. Last cycle and the cycle before, I don't know that we could say this, but this cycle, most people don't have the mental capacity to actually, I think, understand stuff like quantum computing and like moving forward, what is the world going to look like as it evolves. Most people are just here to grab the next hot narrative, right? And cycle between things. And we've seen the narrative switch and the changes happen exponentially more quickly, if that makes sense. Like, crypto is great for grabbing good returns if you're hot on a narrative early. The stock market is way more consistent with actually knowing what to expect, right? And so I just started digging deeper and deeper into the return to basics, guys. If that made sense, please, everyone, hit the thumbs up button on the live stream. I can't say we go live Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, talk about DeSci and current markets anymore because it's been quite a while since we've been live. But we're going to be going live 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the foreseeable future. So with all of that being said, guys, Dynex, from what I've read so far, and I still need to dig a lot deeper, maybe we can get Yeti here to give a better explanation, but Dynex is looking like it's going to be converting into equity. So bullish. I think that's great. It opens the door to a lot of money, especially if we assume here that we're entering into the pure euphoria stage of the crypto market. Quantum computing is in its pure euphoria stage. Like, these valuations are ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense to have them trading this elevated compared to the fundamentals behind these companies, but that's regardless because it looks like we're in the euphoria stage of the market for quantum, and we're entering into the euphoria stage for crypto, and Dynex, arguably the #1 quantum computing company in the entire world, is entering into the blended territory of them both. So I honestly think it's a great opportunity. Let's hope that everything gets executed nicely on it. Do we know if US residents allowed to KYC for the Dynex transition? Haven't seen any info regarding the restrictions. Yeti here says, in theory, USA, UK, Canada should have a much easier time for buying and selling. KYC isn't a problem in those countries. Well, that's good. Hopefully that remains true. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Maybe crypto is not ready for quantum computing. Yeah, I think this cycle, it just hasn't been. This cycle, it's been, let's chase the hottest narrative. Let's get in on the next cool thing as quickly as possible, and then let's just flip it and get out to the next thing and go and look for the next launch and the next launch. And while there is a time and a place for that, it can be annoying sometimes. It absolutely can. With that being said, if you guys stick around till the end of the live stream, I have some pretty interesting information to share with you guys about a new upcoming launch that will be happening very, very shortly. It's something that's been kind of just evolving at a pace way quicker than I ever could have imagined. So stay tuned. Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and look. I think part of what depicts what I'm talking about here is this, right? You go look at stuff like this. Now, I have no idea what this is, okay? Pinkster, but I've seen it all over my feed this morning, okay? Some random person, not random, an insider, dumped $2 million worth of the token, and it just basically erased everyone's gains, right? Just gone. Like that, gone. Nothing you can do, right? It rebounded and climbed pretty nicely from there, but when this happens, it's over. It's a rug. We all are familiar with rugs. We all know how it ends up happening, right? That, I feel like, depicts crypto to a T. It's really difficult to know exactly when to get in and out of things. I'm not saying not, because the gains are insane, but the risk is also insane. Versus you flip it to the other side and look at the stock market. While the risk is very elevated, the risk is not as insane as the crypto market. I'm sorry, but AMD is not going to rug pull me tomorrow. It's probably going to be down quite a bit because this is an insane move up, and it's not really based off of anything that I think is super logical, but nonetheless, it made a crazy move up, and you don't have to worry about it. You can sleep okay at night if you hold AMD, right? So I'm not saying we're done with crypto. I'm saying moving into 2026, given everything that's on the table, given historically what happens, given all the things that are going on in the economy, and with AI growing GDP at a rapid clip, and the real economy or the retail economy kind of suffering and looking like it's teetering under recession, unemployment rate ticking up, we need to make sure that we are quick with the trades, quick with taking profits, while getting rid of some of the risk moving into next year, right? And that's part of the reason why I had to take some time off, right? After, yes, I proposed to Amanda. We are engaged now. Super wonderful. Been a great experience thus far. I had to take some time off and kind of back up for a minute because I was so deep in the trenches. I was so uncomfortably deep in the trenches that I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what was going wrong and why I was actually going kind of insane with how the market was working, right? You go look, like I was expecting us to go parabolic and then top and be over, and I was wrong on that expectation. We kind of consolidated and pulled back for a little bit, and I had a lot of money in super small cryptos that I still have them all in there. I haven't dumped any of this stuff. I'm still exposed to it, but I was driving myself nuts, and I had to take a step back and look at what was going on. And the reality of it was that I had basically stabled all of my stock portfolio, my retirement accounts, my traditional equity accounts, all of that had basically been stabled into TLT and some bonds, right? Some just high yielding bonds, because I wanted to get out of the stock market and just full port into crypto for the time being. So I stabled a bunch of my money from the stocks, and I don't think that was well, obviously in hindsight, we can go back and look and see that when I did that was in March of 2025, like right before we had a pretty big sell-off in the NASDAQ and everything, right? Right before, yeah. I did it at the beginning of this year. I don't remember exactly when I did it, right? But you guys remember at the start of this year, we talked about the TLT hedges and everything. I stabled my equity portfolio. And then TLT did not pump when the market dipped. So my hedge was not correct. I didn't actually end up, I didn't lose money in that dip, but I stayed in it too long. And during that same time period, we saw the markets just absolutely rip straight up the rest of the year. Some of these stocks have made disgusting amounts of money. And my portfolio had remained at the same value, if not down a little bit, because I was in some calls and stuff on TLT. We still have quite a bit of time left in the calls, and I think they'll actually end up printing as the Fed cuts interest rates here by the end of the year. But that's besides the point. It was playing games in my head, man. It was playing games. I couldn't do it. And it took me stepping away from everything, getting out of the trenches to look back and see it. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, you guys were silent there for a moment, which means it makes sense to you guys. Usually when you guys go quiet, it's because you're thinking and hopefully resonating. So get some ones in the chat if you guys understood that, if it makes sense. Basically what I'm saying right now is my equity positions are no longer 100% in bonds, and we are back in the market with the idea of being quick to take profits. Like on what happened to AMD today, I think for the long term, I'm still in my shares on AMD. However, the options that I had played for a quick little turnaround that doubled the portfolio today, we're out. We closed that. That's done. Not in that position anymore. And that's how I'm going to be playing basically the next quarter or two, is just being quick in and out of things. Don't forget to take some profits on the AMD bet. You are right about it probably having a small dip tomorrow. Yeah. Hell yeah, Yeti. Hell yeah. No, I have shares in my retirement account because I think that over the next 5 years, AMD will be higher than it is right now. But I think over the next 5 months, I'm sus about this momentum continuing. And because I had that option play based off of how the Greeks work for pricing options, the volatility was so elevated in the option today that I got to get out for way more than it's actually worth. So it was really good, a good quick scalp. But I had to refamiliarize myself with everything over the last couple of weeks and just get back into things. Took a nice trade with RGTI the other week, ran up 86%. Wife said she loves me again. Let's go, Derek. Let's go. W's in the chat for Derek. Hell yeah. That's a good trade, dude. That's a really good trade. And like, I think that's the environment we're in right now. I think you got to be in and out of these things pretty quick. Yeah. Also on that note, while I was analyzing how my performance has been over the last year compared to the last 3 years before that, this year we've only hit like 2 or 3 10x's so far. And I know that that's a stupid statement to make. Oh, we only hit 2 or 3 10x's, but we've gone into a lot more than just two or three opportunities that just haven't turned out. You go back and look at last year, we had hit like 8 to 10 10x's and a couple 100x's and a couple 1000x's, which sounds insane, right? You go back and look at 2023, we had hit several 10x's and a couple 100x's. And so like, I'm taking a step back and looking and I'm like, I've not been performing how I want to be performing this year. And like, why? And I think it's just, I had a narrative in my head that we were about to crash and we're not. We're just not, right? And so what I was doing just wasn't making sense with the actual state of the market. We'll see how everything ends up playing out. Hopefully we're making the right decisions right now. I am going to take a moment to pause and shout out the sponsor of today's live stream, water. Not sponsored, although it should be. Delicious. Peak, the main play on robotics. Yes, from a function of market cap, Peak looks like the main play on robotics right now. If you stay tuned, the announcement I have to make towards the end of the live stream has to do with robotics. What I've been doing over the last couple of weeks, as well as I took this break, has really evolved quite rapidly. And it's a good opportunity here, I think, coming up this week. So it's going to be quick, right? Again, like I said, things have evolved so quickly that I don't even know necessarily what to expect right now. I just know that I've been grinding like a madman, like beyond anything that I've done in quite some time. So stay tuned. As we get closer to the end of the live stream, I'll give you guys a little bit of insight as to what I'm actually doing there. And hopefully you guys like it. It's heavily involved in robotics. Another group I'm in just hit a good pre-sale that launched last week, XCL. I didn't participate, unfortunately. Well, MK, it looks like you're going to get another opportunity here because we got something cooking right now that I think is going to go insane. insane here. With the market conditions, I think it's going to go nuts. Not a pre-sale, but a launch of something. Okay. Yeah, you go look at Ethereum right now. Ethereum sitting at 4670, sitting very elevated. The prior local high here back just under 5,000. I think we're going to make a push up to 5,000 here. I think we'll probably end up breaking out and starting that next leg up on Ethereum. It's virtually the exact same setup as back here. So almost the exact same amount of time and everything. So I would expect some sort of a move that pushes Ethereum up a good $2,000, maybe only $1,500, but a little while. Bill is coming alive is what I'm hearing. We'll get into a lot of the details. We will get into a lot of the details, but I also have to be kind of quiet until after it is launched, and then I can give you guys more details and everything. But it's going to be good. It's going to be very good for Bill. It's going to be very good for Bill. Any news on Aleda? I haven't heard anything. To be like Talkrid, I literally have been ignoring all DMs. I've just been focused on in my own little world here as I figured out what I'm here to do, right? And basically, by the end of it, I figured out it's got to be a return to basics. We are those investors. I am that investor, right? We have to know what that means. And what that means is actually investing, right? Actually investing. Looking at what's new, looking at what's hot, not getting stuck thinking, oh, this is going to moon, therefore I'm just going to put all my money into it and wait for it to moon, right? That works, but not all your money. You can't do that. You can't. And so I love DeSci. You guys know that. I think it is one of, if not the biggest risk to reward out there. Like all the IP tokens that have been going live. We just saw another one come out here. Where is it? Right here. Aubrey co-designed VitaStem from 850,000 human single cell profiles. Like that's nuts. We just had an AI agent in decentralized science launch its own IP token, okay? That is the whole flywheel coming to fruition. I think that thing's gonna go crazy. I think it's gonna be an easy cook. I don't know when it's gonna be happening. I don't know when it's gonna cook, but I'm gonna dump money into that. I'm gonna put money into it and I'm gonna wait patiently for it. What I was doing over the last like 6 months or so was trying to force things and getting frustrated and angry and upset with myself when they weren't actually happening. Sometimes you put money into something and you have to wait. You have to sit back and wait, which is why you need to be diversified, which is why you need to have money in multiple different avenues, like multiple different income streams, multiple different avenues that you're investing into. You can't just be all in one thing, because if it takes more time than you actually thought, you might dump it right before it pumps. Or you might have been wrong and it might not end up pumping. You might just sit there as everyone else makes money and you get frustrated, right? And so I'm not saying I'm out of DeSci in the slightest. I like very, very contrarian to that statement. I am aggressively invested into decentralized science and I will not be changing that. It's time to invest in other stuff as well. It's time to put the money in what's upcoming, right? What's upcoming right now, in my honest opinion, we're going to see the crypto take off. We're going to see the traditional Q4 mania that we see. Robotics, guys, robotics. We're seeing NVIDIA. They're bull posting like crazy on their robotics page on Instagram and across social media. I should pull it up. Maybe I will in a minute or two. But we're seeing NVIDIA bull post like crazy about robotics. We're seeing Unitree, right? A robotics manufacturer out in China. They're likely to go public either this quarter or next quarter on the stock market. They're like the biggest robotics company in the world, okay? For humanoid and dogoids, quadrupeds, sorry, not dogoids. We're seeing Elon Musk buy $1 billion worth of Tesla stock specifically because he is bullish on robotics. We're seeing crazy amounts of money being thrown around in the robotics industry right now. And I think it's going to come to crypto. This is an easy to understand narrative. Unlike quantum computing, which is a very difficult narrative to understand for crypto people, right? Even though it looks good right now. And I think that news of what Dynex is doing is going to end up sending it pretty aggressively. Robotics is much simpler for people to understand. It's such a small narrative, and I think we're going to see it moon. Absolutely. And so I think for the money that I'm keeping invested in crypto outside of DeSci, I'm putting that shit in robotics. That's what my call is going to be here. I think for this quarter, we're going to see robotics go nuts. So my trading money is going to be in there. You got some NVIDIA stock. I do not have NVIDIA stock. Like I said, AMD was my call. I think NVIDIA, what we're going to end up seeing for NVIDIA, this AI development spend, I think will slow down a little bit. Hopefully robotics can actually keep up the spend and overtake some of it, but I don't think it's quite there yet, which means that I think we're going to see a little bit of a glut happen here for NVIDIA's revenues. I know I'm getting a little bit out of pocket here, but this is what it takes to actually make money. So hopefully it makes sense to you guys. But we're seeing all the AI spend go crazy, right? We just saw OpenAI invest and buy 10% of AMD. On the deal, they're also investing a lot of money into AI data centers, and it's sent AMD up like crazy. NVIDIA has been getting a ton of money and a ton of investments and a lot of revenues for their chips. I think that's going to slow down a little bit into 2026 and potentially 2027. Now, that does not, let me repeat this so that I'm abundantly clear. I'm not saying NVIDIA's growth rate is going to flip negative by any stretch of the imagination. I just mean that the acceleration of NVIDIA's growth accelerating is going to kind of taper off. So instead of NVIDIA, what's their growth rate right now? NVDA, revenue growth rate. So instead of NVIDIA's quarterly revenue growth rate going from 55% to 70% and then 70 to 100%, I think we're going to see it go from 71% to 60%, right? So the acceleration of growth is going to start coming down here in the next like 12 to 18 months, in my opinion. And so when we start seeing the market sniff that out a little bit, I think that NVIDIA's stock's going to get repriced really quickly. AMD, on the other hand, is seeing the exact opposite. Their revenue is actually starting to accelerate, and that's when you make a lot of money in the stock market, is when you see revenue and earnings and the other like free cash flow and everything start to accelerate in growth, not decelerate. So the NVIDIA trade, I think, is mostly played out. It's probably got a little bit more upside, right? If we go parabolic in this quarter, it's probably got a lot more upside, but I think other things have more potential. What's the robotics play? I might have missed it. Well, here's a list of this person's portfolio for robotics. Again, wait until the end of the live stream here. Why'd my fish tank go blue? Well, you know what? I'll say it now since we're on the subject. What I have been cooking up for the last while here, for the last like month or so, 2 months, is a robotics play. So I think it's going to be a banger. I've been going absolutely ham, and the people that I've made connections with and I'm starting to get good work with here, I think is going to blow everyone's minds. Like, I can't say anything yet because I'm just one person in what is being built right now, but it's looking really, really great. And I'm super excited to actually get to show you guys a lot of it. So stay tuned. But I like all of these. Brew, I own some Brew. I own Robot, which is down a good amount here today, which I'm a little bit upset by. But Robot, the virtual stack, it's down a little bit here today, but I've got a good amount of money in Robot right now. I think Peak's going to go crazy. This person's saying Kodak is their number one pick still. I haven't looked into Kodak, but I keep seeing, like, the market's just not a lot of plays for robotics. So, Bill bought. Not yet, but it will segue into Bill. What's happening this week is not going to be directly tied to Bill, but it will segue into Bill, all right? So we trust you that you will be getting some good calls from robotics since you're in it now. I think it'll be good. We'll see. Again, take it with a grain of salt. In the next, this week, be on your toes. because I'm not in control of when things are going to be happening, but I will tell you the moment things happen. So be on your toes and be careful, right? Just, that's all I have to say. Be on your toes, be careful. I'm super, super excited for what's been happening. And I think it's going to be a crazy, crazy time. But like I said, and I'm not trying to like freak people out with this, I'm just trying to stay real with everyone. This is the current state of the market. This isn't going to last forever, okay? I don't know when it's going to end, and so I'm going to play and I'm going to have fun and we're going to make crap ton of money and we're going to invest for the long term and we're going to flip quick and we're going to make good trades and it's going to be a good time. But OpenAI now has $100 billion investment from NVIDIA, 10% ownership in AMD, $500 billion on Stargate investment, $500 billion valuation. How is OpenAI still owned by a nonprofit parent company, right? We're seeing that whole circular reasoning for the AI infrastructure and everything. And that's how like things are getting pretty aggressive here. We're seeing like NVIDIA invest in OpenAI, OpenAI go invest in NVIDIA and go buy some of the chips, right? So it's like, was that real revenue or was that just the circular rotation of money? And I know that's how money works, but it's just, it's getting sus, especially when you go look at things like this, right? While robotics and AI and machine learning and all of these exciting new industries are absolutely taking off and not showing signs of slowing down right now. Let me make that clear too. Like, it doesn't look like we're going to get any kind of slowdown anytime soon in the AI spend and the percent of GDP that AI is making up. And it looks like we're getting another big narrative coming in with machine learning and robotics and AI inside the robots. But besides the point, the US freight market right now is in recession. Like the real underlying economy, the non-AI, the non-big tech conglomerates are suffering pretty bad. You go look at actual companies in the market right now, like not semiconductors and stuff, but let's go look at stuff like Target. Bruh, Target's the same price. Get a load of this, okay? Whatever you think about Target, it's the same price virtually that it was in May of 2015. It's a little bit higher. 10 years, guys, 10 years of gains eviscerated on Target. You go look at like even Amazon right now is looking pretty good. But besides that, like go look at Chipotle. Chipotle doesn't get dips that often and it's down from 68 to 40 bucks. The real economy, okay. Now you guys are gonna spam my security is gone, my antivirus. Like the underlying economy is not looking super hot right now. It's just that the the AI is going nuts. Like the unemployment rate for college graduates per the Fed right now is ticking up very quickly. And for the first time in modern history since the 90s, the first time in 35 years, we're seeing unemployment rate for college graduates sustainably higher than the overall unemployment rate. Usually, if you get a college degree, you're expected to get a good job, right? That's not a great sign for the quote real economy, but let's think about it for a second. Is it possible that the entry-level jobs that most people with a college degree would be getting are being replaced by AI right now? My gut says we're not there yet, but the chart's suggesting something else. And so we're in the weirdest market that we've seen in modern history. Every single thing is signaling recession, but we're not hitting it. GDP is still growing. We're in like this weird rolling recession where if you don't own equities, you're cooked. Did you hear about the stimmy check talks? Yeah, bruh, that's what I'm talking about. Like, what is going on? What do you mean we're gonna get stimmy checks as the market's at all-time high? What is going on? The Nasdaq's about to hit $25,000. You guys see gold? You guys see gold? Gold's about to hit 4,000. Oh shit, it's literally about to hit 4,000. Did gold just did we just see gold hit 4,000? No, not quite. It was $7 away. Like, what is going on? Yes, AI is taking a little space in the college jobs market. Yeah, exactly. It's also possible these those coming out of college right now are just bad employees. Speaking from my hiring experience, they're just bad apples from time to time. Yeah, that's true too. I agree with that. I think that overall trend, I saw someone posting the overall trend of college graduates, and it didn't look good regardless. But let's see. Yeah, it's all right. There's a lot of different theories you can have, and honestly, they're all pretty valid. I just don't know what it's going to look like in the short term. And so the short-term capital I'm going to be trading with, which means I'm going to be in and I'm going to be out pretty quick on virtually anything. So take mental log of that, guys. We're going to be in and I'm going to be out real quick. When there's good gains on the table, I'm going to grab those, okay? Because I don't trust the current economy and I don't trust the market. And it could be, let's be frank, I haven't trusted it for the last 8 months and we've done nothing but go straight up. So it's not anything new, right? But I'm going to be taking advantage of stuff like this. MicroStrategy, look at that chart setup. Look at that, right? We're seeing MicroStrategy looking like it's breaking out of a falling wedge at the same time that Bitcoin is going absolutely nuts, parabolic, 125,000 MSTR. MicroStrategy is probably going to be breaking out here pretty aggressively. So what do? You try and swing trade that. You grab some options maybe if you want to. You try and find a good entry and get in and ride that wave up. Wait for a sudden, really quick pop up or till you break all-time highs if you think it's going to, and take those gains. You gotta be careful, and we'll talk about that as time goes on. I'll show you guys the positions that we're in. If you're in the Discord, I will be very active in the Discord so you guys can see my current trades and everything that I have going on, both for the long-term and the short-term portfolios. Like, just be active as much as you guys can because we're gonna make some good money here. And then simultaneously, we're gonna be investing for the long-term because while I don't know what it's gonna look like in 6 months, I do know what it's gonna look like in 6 years. In 3 to 5 years and 6 years from now, the companies, in my opinion, like UiPath, are going to be disgustingly higher from here. In 6 months, I don't know what it looks like, but in 6 years, I'm pretty confident. All right. You're right, Beagle. I'm sorry, Beagle. I'm sorry, okay? I didn't mean to ghost it. In the description, Daniel, description of the video, we got a link to the Discord. I can drop it. Though for you guys, invite people, hidden copy button. Let's grab that right here and we'll paste it. Join the Discord if you so choose. Yeah. Now, speaking of long-term, okay? My recent research on robotics led me down a very deep rabbit hole on the robotics industry. What I ended up finding was this company called UiPath. Now, UiPath does robotic processing automation, okay? It's not what you think it is. That's what I thought it was at first too. It's not that at all. It has nothing to do with robotics, okay? But when I did my due diligence into the company, I realized it is grossly underappreciated right now, and it just flipped profitable, and it is about to accelerate their revenues and their earnings like crazy. And the market has discounted it as if it is a washed up company never to do anything. It is trading at 4 times price to sales. One of the closest competitors is Palantir, which is trading at 500 price to sales. Last I checked, UiPath is right here. In my opinion, UiPath is right here compared to Palantir. Okay? Obviously, we don't know. Nothing is guaranteed. But from all my due diligence, it looks like UiPath is about to go on a multi-year ripper rally due to AI agents. I can get into it if you guys want to, or we can save it for another time. We can do what I'll probably end up doing, because this is the return to basics, is we'll set up a classroom in the Discord and we'll do a deep dive fundamental analysis on UiPath in the Discord. How's that sound? I'm not going to ghost you guys, I promise. How's the chart looking for Vita Stem? Let's look it up, baby. Bio and pump science IP tokens should go boom. I agree with you, the tube. I agree. And that is part of what was driving me mad, is that I had all of my focus on the bio and IP tokens and pump science tokens, and they weren't going boom. And I was like, why the F aren't these going boom? It doesn't make sense. And then I had to take a step back and be like, oh yeah, because I'm not in control of the market, right? So, god damn, look at this sucker. Up 500% today. How many of you guys got into it? Another one of the pre-sales from Bio. How many of you guys got into it? We also got Dick here going nuts. Dick Dow, the AI agent, just launched from Bio as well, up 383%. Both looking fantastic. And this is what I mean. The market is risk on. There's plenty of money to be made, right? Plenty of money to be made. I can't enter into Dick GPT with the same money or the same conviction that I can into UiPath or AMD, right? Or even something just like Bio itself or Research Coin, right? It doesn't have to be out of DeSci. It doesn't have to be out of the crypto market. I just can't, like, we've made good money and I can't be in Dick Dow with the same level of conviction that I can be in Research Hub, you know? Research Hub, I think, is easy cook. Easy gain. W Vibra. Yeah. Welcome. Yeah, it's looking great though, guys. Did you see, like, that's looking amazing. You go look at VitaStem. VitaStem, I think, is going to perform very well, and it's probably going to be tied pretty closely, if we look at it, to Aubrey. Aubrey has been kind of slow bleeding for the last couple of weeks, and I think that's fine. This momentum is not going to be able to last forever. The market is very different than it was in the last series of launches, but so what I'm saying is that I don't think it's just going to slow bleed. If anything, it kind of looks like it just broke out from this downtrend. I would hope or wait for backtest and then support before getting in for that next wave up, although most of you guys are probably just holding on tight here. But yeah, Bitcoin looks like it might be pushing again for all-time high. Let's go. Vibra Finance, W. Bought more bill on the dip. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Yeah, I'm telling you, you weren't here a minute ago when I was talking about it, but I've been working on something, and stay tuned as closely as you can for this week, because it's going to be going live here this week. It is not related to Bill directly, okay? It's something that I will explain the connections and the dots and kind of how it's evolved after it's live and everything is working. But I hopefully, if you guys can think through it, you'll see how well it is connected. It's robotics related, okay? It's gonna be great. It's gonna be good. It's different. It's a different coin. It's cooking, all right? But it's gonna be fun. We're gonna have a good time. Let's go look at Bitcoin. I wanna see it breaking out to new all-time highs live on the stream with us. 1 hour. Ooh, look at that. $125, $300. You know, it literally does look like it's about to break out to new all-time highs though. That is a strong coil here on the minute chart for Bitcoin, looking beautiful. The higher Bitcoin goes, the more money I was scammed out of when I first got into crypto. When I first got into crypto, I fell for one of those, I send you 0.1 Bitcoin, you send me 0.2 Bitcoin back. I fell for one of those, believe it or not. Yep, I've been scammed out of everything that you could imagine. But I actually did send 0.1 Bitcoin, which was a good, a noticeable amount of my portfolio at the time. It was back when Bitcoin was $9,000 and change. So I had to go buy $1,000 worth of Bitcoin. I sent it over to them. It was 0.1 Bitcoin, and then they just dipped. And I was like, wait. So now, the higher Bitcoin goes, I've now been scammed out of $12,500 because 0.1 Bitcoin. So it's okay. It's all right. We've made so much more than that. It's not even funny. Bullish. My ears just popped, just cracked. What's this plus? The chat wants me to... We'll go back to live chat. It's telling me to engage with the audience. Oh, it wants me to go to members only right now. I'm not gonna do that. But when we do the deep dives into investment opportunities for the long-term port, we'll do some members only live streams or something. We gotta figure it out. We gotta figure out what everyone wants. Patrick, send me 0.1 Bitcoin. I'll send you 0.2 back. You promise, Beagle? I'm down. At least you're not bitter about the Bitcoin scam. Yeah. I mean, I've got scammed out of significantly more than that, so it is what it is. It is what it is. Let's see. What else did I plan on talking with you guys about? Yes, UiPath. We talked about it a little bit, but basically, I'm going to do a deep dive into it, but UiPath, I think, is going to make a crap ton of money. A crap ton of money for us. It's going to be a longer cook, right? It's going to be one of those long-term plays, but my bullish thesis on it honestly strengthens the company if it goes into recession. They have more cash than they have for current liabilities, which is good because that means if we go into a recession, they'll make more money. It's a reoccurring revenue business model, which means they're subscription-based, which means that people are they are already at an ARR or an annualized recurring revenue rate that's higher than the current revenue rate that they just reported, which means they're already, if they don't sign any new customers, going to make more money moving forward. They have a net dollar retention of 108%, which means that for every dollar a company spends with them, this is UiPath, for every dollar a company spends with them, they spend 8 cents more the next year. That's crazy. That is a really, really good, right? So that means that if they don't sign any new customers, they will continue to grow at a near double-digit % growth. And they're trading at a really grossly discounted price right now. They just recently, meaning the beginning of the year, launched new products that are AI agent related. And they just did a big demo where they talked about how they're working with OpenAI, they're working with NVIDIA, they're working with Microsoft already, they're working with Google. This company is tiny compared to the other companies that they're working with, and they're signing deals that are grossly outpacing the current growth right now. And I think it's gonna go insane. And we get in, if you want to hold on and wait for the chart to actually break out before you get in, just in case this is a false breakout. I don't think it is. It looks like it broke out and is going parabolic here, but if you want to wait, I don't blame you, because honestly, anything under $25 on this, I think is a steal if you can fast forward 3 years, 3 to 5 years on this one. I know it's a long time, but it's not. It's really not. You probably have some investments you made 3 to 5 years ago now that you're enjoying right now, right? You need to play the game like this. In order to win, you got to play the game like that. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. All right. Does anyone have anything for me? Anything you guys want to talk about? Any big major milestones in your life that I missed out on because I took that hiatus for the last month or two? Anything big that you guys did that you want to share with the class? That'd be awesome. It's highly encouraged right now. We're in power hour for the live stream, the last 10 minutes. I think I covered everything I did indeed. We can go through and look at some of the coins in DeSci or some of the big conviction players that people should have right now, and do some chart analysis on everything. I think that right now in the current crypto market cap, or in current crypto, we're seeing Bitcoin dominance slowly go higher. I think it's going to continue to go higher for a little bit and then likely get rejected at one of these two moving averages is my expectation. Yeah, both of them have been pretty strong support areas for the entirety of Bitcoin's bull run, right, for dominance. And so now we flipped below, kind of showed the 200 as a resistance, and now we're coming back up. I hope that we don't go all the way up to the 200 and we only go to the 100-day moving average, but who knows? With that, I think we're going to still see altcoins not perform as good as Bitcoin for the next like 2 weeks or so maybe. But then I think we'll flip and see it continuing downwards. Same thing with the dollar index right now, the US dollar. We're seeing the dollar likely have a pop here soon, and I think it'll be the last pop before it breaks down below. It's not looking great for the dollar, and we know Trump wants a weaker dollar. It's just, if we're being realistic, it's probably not a great, this is the worst year the dollar has had in the last several decades. You go look at when the dollar opened the year, and it's down 9.4%. So it's probably not a good look for the US if the dollar breaks down here this year. We likely want to see the dollar close a little bit higher so it's not the worst year. Otherwise, a pretty bad narrative is going to happen. And then early next year, I think we might see the dollar break down again. But who knows? I do not know. 3 years tomorrow. Beagle, you've been with us for 3 years, man. Why haven't you done it yet? My little milestone, buddy. Yeah. Cooking up a podcast to help explain DeSci hypothesis. I think most people don't get the heck of things. There's a lot of opportunities, man. There is a crazy amount of opportunities, Daniel. Crazy. And we're going to find them. And we're going to make money off of them. And it's going to be great. And it's going to be fantastic. But I needed to get out of the trenches for a minute. That's why I took the break. I had to. Trump's definitely crippled the dollar this year. Yeah, I mean, he was very clear that's what he wanted. He wanted, like, when you deploy tariffs on a country, okay? When you deploy tariffs on the country, in order for that country to trade with us, it costs more money, right? And you have to convert to dollars to trade with us because we're not going to accept euros, right? We're not going to accept the yen. You got to convert to dollars. So if you make it more expensive to trade with the US, you need to bring the value of the dollar down so the countries can still trade with us at a similar rate to what they were trading with us at, while we make that revenue difference, the United States that is. So in order for the tariffs to have worked, the dollar had to come down. And the dollar still needs to come down even more, to be honest. Also, it makes it easier to pay off debt and everything over the long term, but that's a whole nother discussion. In order for the tariff stuff to have worked out the way that it seems to have worked out, the dollar had to come down. And the dollar likely still needs to come down even further because it's only come down 10%, and a lot of these tariffs are way higher than that. So we'll see, but retirement is officially canceled for 2025. Well, I could have just retired and not come back to live stream, but I felt bad. I really love live streaming, and so I didn't want to do that. Effectively, call it what you want to call it, unemployment, retirement, whatever you want to call it. Since I got fired after doing the genetics analysis stuff, I have not had a traditional job since then. I've just been chilling, doing stuff. So we came out of retirement to go live again, baby. Let's go. Let's go. I could have just married Amanda, married my wife, gone off, and just enjoyed the rest of my life. Never to set foot in front of the trading terminal again. But that is not what needs to happen. That is not what our future involves. Our future is one of prosperity. One where, let's say, we take this small account here that I'm showcasing in the Discord on Robinhood. Let's say we take it and we add a couple zeros here. Let's add 2 zeros, bring it to 1 million. Let's see how quickly we can do it. Literally doubled up today. Let's see it. Let's see if we can get that trading account crazy high. Who knows? This is just going to be stocks. Probably not crypto on this one. But it's a small little portfolio here. Let's see. For real, we did miss you though. We got a lot of people crying over Bill and DeSci Schiller's group. I know. I saw a lot of them and I missed you guys too. That's why I came back. Bill is not dead. Bill is alive and well, all right? Things are going to look a little different moving forward, okay? They're going to look a little different, but we're going to do good. If we go look, what did we talk about, okay? This will be the thing that we ended on, all right? Let's get rid of all these crazy lines. We'll go to the all-time history index, get rid of the moving averages, and let's go look at Bitcoin from a very basic standpoint. I think we hit this circle that's been here for a couple years. I think we finally hit it, right? I have multiple different price predictions. We're about to hit the one on the Coinbase chart. The all-time history index, I think we'll hit it. I don't actually know when I drew that circle, but it's been there for a little while. We go look at crypto, and we've talked about this so many times, okay? Do we have that arrow marker? Nope, not that. We have the first push in Bitcoin, right? That first leg up when we went up like this and we went from 16,000 to 31,000. We saw things like research coin, okay, in DeSci take off. That was July 2023 through December 2023. June 2023 through December 2023. So it was a little bit later, right? But DeSci started moving. It's not as clear on that first one, but DeSci started moving after Bitcoin made that big leg, right? Then we saw the next big leg, and we saw Bitcoin go crazy, go from 24,800 all the way up to 74,000. And during that time period, what did we see? We saw, not Research Hub. I mean, Research Hub did really well as well, but we saw Axon. We saw the launch of Axon and Noble. Even though Noble got hacked and it didn't end up going as crazy as I think it could have, we saw a lot of excitement in the DeSci market, but not until after Bitcoin had already made that move. We've talked about this a lot of times. It's not new information for you guys. The 10-second Bitcoin chart is getting spicy. Maybe we'll stay on until it breaks out, Stephen. March 2024. March 2024, right? DeSci moved after Bitcoin made that big move. What happened in this one? Same exact concept. The start of 2025, we saw Bio launch, right? We saw a lot of excitement in DeSci again after Bitcoin made its move. Same thing here. We had a little bit of a mini run up here. I wouldn't call this one necessarily the same. It didn't feel the same at all. We had a little bit of a mini run up here in crypto. I think this is going to be part of one bigger move when we look back at it, where we go up to between 150 to 160. And I think, again, we'll see the same kind of concept where DeSci moves at the end after Bitcoin makes its crazy move. After we see it break out and put in that high is when we'll see all the things like Bill Nye, our DeSci guy, go crazy. We'll see the IP tokens go crazy. We'll see pump science coins go crazy. We'll see Bio go crazy again. Research Hub. We'll see Data Lake, Noble, Wellshare, all the ones, Axon, that we are so familiar with. Aleda will probably be, genuinely guys, if you want to know, for DeSci's launches, Aleda will probably be the one that goes the craziest in this next run up, because if they launch it anytime soon, right? Literally, if they launch it this month, I think it goes nuts. If they keep delaying it and keep pushing it until Bitcoin hits this imaginary target or whatever, I don't know what they're waiting on, but if they launch it this month, I think it goes nuts into the end of this year. And I think it'll be one of those, it'll be like the Axons from 2024 at the end of 2023. We'll see. Who knows? That's just what the pattern has been so far. DeSci runs at the end of the rotation, right? It's been a very, very easy stair-stepping pattern this year, or this cycle, unlike last cycle where we just went parabolic and then died, and then went parabolic and then died, right? It's more like 2017 where we run up, build it out, run up, build it out, run up, build it out. And then we just keep getting quicker and quicker and quicker. It's just been more of a stairs instead of that parabolic, which is interesting, but yeah. Hopefully that all makes sense to you guys. And so basically what I'm saying is that DeSci is gonna go nuts. It's gonna make good gains. It's just gonna be towards the end. I thought I had premium. I will not be upgrading right now. I cannot see the 10-second time frame for Bitcoin. I apologize. All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, there's 27 concurrent viewers right now, so I appreciate each and every one of you guys for joining the live stream yet again. We'll be live tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to talk about crypto markets and how to make as much money as possible. That's a really good point, actually, Sven. There's a lot more cushion with the ETFs, absolutely. Most of the inflows of money into Bitcoin and crypto has been through these ETFs, which is why alt season's been so delayed. But we're potentially, once the government reopens in the United States, we're potentially going to see Solana ETF, XRP ETF, like all those altcoin ETFs are likely to get approved. And I think that will be a really fun time in the market for everyone as money flows into the altcoins yet again. And DeSci will be the last to run, but the hardest to run. And a little reminder to you guys, stay connected to the Telegram and the Discord this week. Stay in the circle, stay active. There's something that I've been working on with several people for the last couple months, however long it's been. I don't even know right now, but I've been so deep. That's part of the reason why I wasn't live. I've been so deep into this and so deep into researching and making the connections to make sure that everything goes excellent for this, and it's all coming to fruition this week. So stay as alert as you can if you want to. It's up to you. I'm not your financial advisor, but it's gonna be fun. All right, guys, your time's your most valuable asset. Hopefully this was worth investing it into. I appreciate you guys being here with me. Bitcoin is sending, come on, push.